believe me, I'll do it for you, I'll be the guru, you follow me. No such thing. Matter of fact, down to earth. And the second word is inam, which, as you all know, or most of you would be knowing, inam means the prize, the result. So iman and inam, very similar sounding words. Inam is the result, the effect. So when your cause or your actions are in integrity, the consequences are positive. When you cause is in principle, your result is good effect on people. Let me shift tack. Iman and inam. This is what we are. He speaks on all the subjects: relationship, family, business, career, mental health, physical health, your achievements and what you can achieve in society, and last but definitely not the least, how to live a more meaningful life, that you can give more in exchange that what you take from the planet. So this is what I have understood. He is way more. I've just described, or I have tried to describe him in a few words.
Thank you.
So I go back to you, a man who works with Iman.
Thank you. Wow.
Very, very nicely explained. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for that introduction. And since you mentioned so many different topics, and as I was talking earlier, so my first question to you, Mir, would be: is there any purpose of life? Why we are on this planet?
Yes.
Okay.
The purpose of the spirit is to help. The purpose of the spirit is to help, but many people try to help and they've been betrayed. Many people promise help and they betray others. Many people saw others betraying others, and many people betrayed themselves. And so help became betrayal. So if I come to you and I say, I'll help you, the first thing that comes to your mind is, what's in it for you? And the moment that you stop or forget that your purpose is to help, you start going down the chute. Because you will be as successful as you help. And generally I say, if you want to be healthy, make someone else healthy. If you want to be rich, make someone else rich. If you want to be powerful, make someone else powerful. But also, if you want to be sick, make someone else sick. If you want to be poor, steal from someone. So if I'm working for you and I don't actually make more than you pay me, if I don't make you rich, I will be poor. But if I make you rich, you will have no choice but to make me rich. It's really, the purpose is very simple, to help. You take a child and you'll see he is dying to help. He just wants to help until the parents destroys him and take out of him this urge to help. But if you let your child help you, you'll see that something amazing happen. It's actually explaining why children at the age of 12, 13, 14, 15 start to rebel. And it goes like that. I can come to you and say, do you want that? And you say yes. I say, give me $10. And you give me $10 and I don't give it to you. That's called criminality. That's a criminal exchange, yes? I steal from you, yes? But this is this relationship of promising you something and not giving can be the other way around. You can be my son and I give you and I give you and I give you and I give you and I never ask something back. I make you into a criminal. You'll have no choice but to hate me. So the last person that used to be your friend and hates you is because you gave, and you didn't ask for something back. The next level, You can come and I said, you want that? You say, yes. I say, give me $10. I'll give it to you, but it's empty. It's not working. It's not really stealing, but it's partial. It's not, I really didn't deliver. The next level of exchange is just exchange. I come to you and I said, you want that? You say, yes, give me $10. I give you $10. Just. It's fine. But it's nothing. It's not helping. Why? Because in order for us to expand, I come to you and I said, you want that? You say yes. I say, give me $10. I give you that with something that you did not expend. So this is called exchange with the wow. When exchange with the wow happen in your life, everyone notices you. Everyone has to help you. You go to a restaurant, they give you what you expected. You don't tell anyone, but if they give you extra, you go and tell everyone, look, this is a special restaurant. With children, parents, and with relationship, you give and you give and you give, and you don't expect anything back, and this is a massive mistake. Help do not mean a method of making everyone your slave, which means I give you, I give you, I give you, I give you, nothing get back. Help means I give you and I insist that you give me more than I give you. Only then you will expand. Only then there is future. Otherwise you have poor countries. They're getting money, they're getting money, they're getting money. They don't expect to give something in return, much more than they got. And it applies to all areas of life. So what's the purpose of life? Help. And a lot.
Very nicely explained, very nicely explained.
Thank you.
And before I come back to Kamalji, one small question, and then I also want to bring in Kamalji to ask him what is the purpose of life. But when you say that yes, our purpose is to help, so you've made a very good point here that yes, we should also insist that this help doesn't come free, because then we could, yeah, you got a very practical point that then we could be making the other person dependent, lazy, and there are a host of other issues that come along with that. But if we insist that yes, you should also reciprocate or do something, yes, we are encouraging a person, but don't you think then there is some expectation also we are attaching with that?
Yeah, and there's always expectation in this universe. For every plus, there is minus. Okay. For every good, there is bad. The smallest number in this universe is 2. 2, not 0, because there's nothing 0. For every plus, there is minus. For every force, there is counterforce. Nothing survives alone. There is an expectation in this universe. And it's better to wake up very early to that fact, or otherwise you'll be a casualty of the universe. You have to realize there is an expectation, nothing is free, and if the only thing that is free is to die, even that is not really free. But when you're dead, no one expects from you anything anymore. But so there is 2 ways to really not take responsibility. One is to die, and the second is to go insane. In both cases, the person cannot exchange anymore. When you cannot exchange anymore, you die. You are as alive as you exchange. You're as alive as you exchange. What do you exchange usually? Some form of communication. Money is a communication. Love is communication. Exchange do not mean just money. I help you, I help my children. It's enough that they give me a kiss. You have a baby and you give them for what? For the smile. It's major exchange for the parent. Major. It doesn't have to be cash. Well, I'm Jewish, so yes, but I'm joking.
Yeah. Kamalji, I'll come to you, and I want to listen your thoughts also today. What do you think is the purpose of life, if at all there is any, if you think?
As far as I'm concerned, I'm very clear. Purpose of life to be able to do things for others to the extent that you can. Or, however, and I'm saying however, before I even go to however, let me give you an example. For my mortgage talk, when clients call up, and this is for you, I advertise on the radio that if you need any advice, talk to me, even if I'm not going to personally benefit. That is, even if I don't make any money off you, I'll still help. And a lot of people call up and I guide them into getting a cheaper mortgage from their existing lenders. If I can do it, I'll say I can do it, if it is of benefit to them. If not, and then I guide them into getting a cheaper mortgage from their existing lender. My only, I won't say condition, but it's almost, I insist that if you gain from listening to me, talking to me, taking my advice, then you must help a needy person and not a religious institution, not a gurdwara, temple, masjid, mosque, or church. You give to a needy person at least $100. So which means you've got something. It's not free. I mean, the advice was free, but you are in turn helping somebody. Now, two purposes. A, the person cherishes the advice, and B, he gets into the mode of doing things for others. So every exchange is not that you have to benefit, but as long as you're encouraging people to go out and help others, and this happens to me at least 3-4 times a day. People will call up for advice, I'll give it to them, and I said, look, do this. If you benefit from my advice, this is what you do. And you know what? People call back and say, we took your suggestion, not $100, we gave much more to this organization, this institute. So basically, I'm encouraging people to help others also.
Whatever you can do.
Whatever they can do.
They can do. We'll come to you. Very nice, thank you. We'll come to you. What do you have to say this that about success? Everyone is looking for success in their lives, but not everyone is successful.
Yeah.
So, two-part question. First is, what do you define as success? That this is success, and secondly, how do we achieve it?
Okay, good. So success, my definition of the word success is the sum of all validated improvements. So you have failure, and usually most people think, oh, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. So you make the wrong side bigger, wrong, so you become really a failure. But I say, this is wrong, I don't care. I put light onto it. What's right? This is an improvement, 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 this is an improvement. And when the weight of the improvement is higher than the weight of the failure, all of a sudden you realize, oh, I can dance. Oh, I can do that. Oh, I understand English. Oh, I know. You have this I know. So success is the sum of all validated improvement. Now, what's the basic reality? Fake reality is a word that I invented that means a piece of information that you are 100% sure is correct, but when you use it, it doesn't bring the expected result. So you're 100% sure it's correct to argue with your wife, you never get the expected result. You're going to lose. You are a man. Yes.
So that is fake reality.
That's a fake reality. So, you're not going to
So
win.
you invented this word, fake reality. Sorry, go ahead.
So the fake reality here is that people think that you fix people by finding what's wrong with them. The truth is, you fix machines by finding what's wrong with them. You fix people by finding what's right with them. If your wife burned breakfast and you tell her, look, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, if she will not burn the breakfast, she will put glasses in the breakfast. There will be something wrong, yes? But if you tell her thank you and you find what's right, oh, you invested so much time and effort and you love me and you care about me and you find what's right, what's right, what's right, what's right, what will happen is like that. She's doing something wrong because she thinks that she's wrong and you are right. Every time you tell her that she is right, you are not as intimidating. She becomes right. When she's right, she now can make mistakes because she has a lot of rightness in the bank account, and spending $100 of right is not a problem. So she will do something right. Every time you make a person wrong, you put him down, it means he cannot spend. So you've got money. You can think about it as a bank account. And you need to have enough money in the bank account of rightness in order to spend. When you make someone wrong, he has minus in the bank account. He has no money. When you make him right, you give him money, you give him money, you give him money. All of a sudden, he can spend. He can start do things. So my law is that machine you fix by finding what's wrong with them, and people you fix by finding what's right with them. It's very counterintuitive, but it works.
Very nice.
It works. If I come to someone, it works in sales, it works with children, it works with almost anything other than your wife.
I heard in one of your interviews you were saying 90% of the businesses fail because of not focusing on marketing. That's what you said.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you to explain a little bit more about that, and also how do you define, like you said, okay, if the marketing is good, then the businesses will succeed. So how do you define good marketing?
Okay, so the purpose of marketing is to make something wanted, needed, and to sell something.
Okay.
The mistake is that people don't know that marketing sells. They think salespeople sell. No, salespeople upsell. For example, Apple is a good marketing company, so you come to buy. They don't need to sell you because the marketing sold already. But a company that don't have marketing needs a lot of sales. So they sell either to new clients or existing clients. But they don't do both. When you have marketing, you create want and you sell something. And the way to create marketing is quite simple. What you do, there's something that's called a button. A button is, if I press this button, I know what will happen. Yes? Every person has specific buttons. If you want to buy, I don't know, a new Lexus, you'll see that all of a sudden you see 60,000 Lexus around you. Yes? You see Lexuses all. Why? Because that's your button. Yes? Every market segment have their own buttons. And marketing should never start before you found what's the actual button, the thing that get the people attention. Why? A person in average get 5,000, 10,000 marketing messages per day. He sees 2 or 3. What does he see? The Lexus, the button. So in order for you to deliver the message, you first need to press the button. And that you can find only by survey. There is a very specific technology of survey that if you know it, you'll see that instead of having 0.111% on your marketing, you'll get 20, 30, 40% return, which is unheard of. So the first thing is the button, and the second thing, the message. The message has to be something that's real for the person, and it has to be real emotionally. What do I mean? I'll give you an example. Many years ago, I was helping this company that doing fertilizers. And they tried to sell, and they've done all kind of things. I said, no. We need to find the emotion of the people that buy fertilizers. They said to me, what do you mean emotion? I'll explain to you. Let's say that you come to buy fertilizer. And I'll take it only 2 levels, but there are many levels of emotion. You may come because you want a beautiful garden. This is if you're enthusiastic about the subject, or etc. Or you may come to buy from me because you want to kill the freaking bugs. Mm-hmm. It's a totally different message. You need to know what's the emotion, because people buy due to an emotional response. Only emotional response. People don't buy an iPhone, they buy the look. They buy, oh, I'm going to impress you with the iPhone. They want an emotional response. People buy food because it's creating an emotional response. People do everything for emotion. People actually are slaves to their emotions. That's a whole different subject that we need to talk about. So marketing, number 1, button. You need to learn how to find the button. Second, the message. How do you position it in terms of emotion? And the third thing that you need to do is what's called positioning. What does it mean, positioning? You need to have a symbol or a saying that gives the person the feeling that he knows everything, but he doesn't know anything. For example, when they invented car, They used to say that it is a motorized cart. Yes, because people knew what it is. Yes.
What a cart is, yeah.
Yes. For example, my company has, we position ourselves as we are not hype, we actually work. So we say, you tried the hype, are you ready for the truth? Yes.
You tried the hype, are you ready for the truth?
Yeah.
That's interesting, very interesting.
Yeah, because now you think that you know everything about what we know, because you know what the hype, you know the truth is good. So it's like it's giving you a whole book in a sentence. We try harder. So everyone knew they are not number one. We try harder made so much money. It's just unbelievable. So if you know these three parts of marketing, you have to be genius to fail. You can print money, practically print money.
And since you're talking about printing money, before I come back to again Kamalji, I did hear that you made $100 million at the age of 31.
Yeah.
So at the age of 31, that's almost 3 decades ago, since I know your age now. So almost 3 decades ago, 100 million at that time is almost like becoming a billionaire today.
Yeah.
So at 3 decades ago, if you made 100 million at the age of 31, we would want to know how did you do that? And after that, where did you move on from that point? We'd like to listen to your journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you the story.
Sure.
It's a little bit interesting story. I was born with my 2 feet pointing backward, totally backward. So I couldn't walk. And from the age of 3 days, I was in cast up to the hips. And every 3 days, my mom would take me to the hospital. That was 1 hour drive in a bus. They will cut the cast and break the feet. And the doctor said, look, he will never walk. It's just like, you have to be ready. So for 6 years, every 3 days, breaking the feet, lots of pain, terrible. By the age of 6, they took off the cast, the feet pointed backward, but I couldn't stand on them.
But you could stand or you couldn't?
No, I couldn't. Like
Even at the age of 6?
Yeah, I couldn't stand because I never walked. There was
Okay.
no muscles.
Okay.
Nothing. This thing was not working. The legs was not working.
But your feet-
but
but
the
your
feet
feet-
looked forward.
Forward. Okay, thank you. Got it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So they said, look, you will not walk. I said, seriously? I will. So despite everything that the doctor said, I started to crawl and try and push and climb and do impossible things, and always with pain. And when I got to the age of 18, I could already walk and I could run and everything. And I went to the Israeli army. And everyone at the age of 18 has to go to the Israeli army for 3 years. I volunteered to a very special unit to become a diver. Now, I was lucky at that time, there was no computers. So they asked me, is there anything wrong with your body? I said, no, everything is 100%. The course was 2 years. Torture, 2 years. We started 4,000 people. We finished 21. In 2 years. I was one of those people that finished.
From 4,000 people, only 21 were selected, and you were one of them. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So how come?
Uh-huh.
Because you, the spirit, the boss. I had this idea, and I'll explain about it a bit more later, that I'm the boss, and I'm using the body. Most people are slave to the body. They're serving the body. The body want to go to sleep? Well, okay, I'm tired. The body is hungry, I have to eat. I tell the body, go to the gym, I'm 62 years old, I push 100 kilos bench press, no problem. And everyone of my friends said, no, it's impossible. I said, for you, it's impossible. Why? Because I'm the boss. I'm telling the body what to do. And when the viewpoint is, the boss is here, you see, the body listen. It's like if the boss is not here in the business, it's not the same. But when the boss is here, the body listen. Now you do it on a gradient, you don't want to say, okay, fine, the boss is here, after 50 years that you didn't do anything. But the moment that you understand the principle, the moment that you have knowledge about something, the result is control. If I teach you how to drive a car, you will control the car. And the result of control of anything is income. It's the expected results. Every time that you learn something, piece of truth, when you have knowledge, the result will be control. And when you control something, you'll get the income of it. So if I control the car, the income will be I arrive to where I want to arrive quickly, comfortably, and safe. If I'm control of my business, the result will be I helped a lot of people, so I have profit. If I control the relationship with my children are a model of citizens, like the best. But if I don't, I have an accident with my car, my business go bankrupt, my children goes on to drugs, and I explain how everyone is wrong, and I'm just a victim. No, I'm the boss. I'm cause over my life, and it happens because I've learned the truth. If you know the truth, you cannot fail. Otherwise, you operate on fake reality, and you cannot not fail. If I know how to drive, you'll see that I will drive properly. When I drive few cars at the same time. The more you know, the more you control the area. So some people drive only their car. I drive the cars on the side of me, 2 cars behind me and 2 cars ahead of me. I drive all the cars around because I control what's going on. I'm not going to be an effect. I'm cause of what's happening. This is a totally different viewpoint on life. So with this viewpoint of I'm cause, when I went to the army, I finished the army after 6 years. I went to the Far East, just traveled, climbed the Himalaya, did all kind of things. And after the Himalaya, after I've done all of these things, I ended up with no money. And I heard that someone in South Africa needed a programmer. I called them. They said, do you know how to program? I said, not a problem. I can program. They said, come. It was the beginning of pieces. Like you can see how old I am. Yes, it was the beginning of pieces. Just pieces was just starting. Bought a book, learned quickly how to program, arrived to South Africa, started a company, created some application. At that time it called the software. Created the software. After a year, sold that company. And then immediately after that, I went and I came up with some kind of a solution for fuel fraud in South Africa. Didn't know English. I couldn't speak English. I had very long hair, earrings. Like I was like a beatnik, you know, like someone from the 60s. And went to the oil companies and said, look, I have a solution for you. And they said, not interested. I've sent them presentation. They said, not interested. I decided I'm the boss. I went to BP, came to the reception. I said, I'm here to see the head of the organization, the CEO. Bill is his name. They say, is he expecting you? I said, for a long time. They called, they called the secretary. He told me to sit and wait. And like, you need to get the picture. Long hair, jeans, cut jeans, like not a businessman at all. I was sitting, his secretary comes down, and she goes through me like I'm not no one, and she asked the guard, who is this guy? So the guy pointed at me. She said, no, for Bill. I said, this is the guy. She came to me and she said, are you for Bill? I said, yes. She said, is he expecting you? I said, for sure. So we go up, like I think 25th floor, whatever, big building. The whole building was BP. We're going through lots of cubicle. The corner office is Bill. Before she gets to her place, I bypass her, open the door, and I say, Bill, I need to talk to you. You want to hear what I have to say. He looked at me and said, you have 5 minutes. It was 10 a.m. in the morning. I left at 8 p.m. after I had lunch and dinner with him.
Wow, wow.
3 months later, I closed the deal. Why? Because I knew the truth. I knew the principles. I have the knowledge about who I am, what the spirit is all about. I was not impressed by the mechanical show of the physical universe, but I've learned, I knew what's the spirit is all about. And every person that's watching us now has capabilities that he didn't even dream that are possible. But the moment that you start to look, you'll discover your power is so powerful that you are the source of power. You are so powerful that you are the source of power. That's how powerful you are. You just need to start and learn the principles. And once you start to learn, knowledge immediately bring control, immediately bring income. And then you'll have to be genius to fail, impossible to fail.
Very nice. What an interesting story.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your journey.
Thank
very
you.
inspiring, very encouraging. Kamalji, I'll come to you. Many people think, like just as Mayor Ezra, he explained his journey, and many people think that they could do that and said, but where lies the difference between, here are a few people who are very successful in their lives, and then there are others who might even think, as Amir was explaining, we are strong, spirit, I'm not going to listen to my body, I'm going to do this, but then they don't add up to anything in their lives. What is the difference? Why?
Couple of things.
Okay.
First, a lot of people have desires or rather wishful thinking. Wishful thinking, desires, or maybe an idea. They never turn that idea into an intention. When you turn an idea into an intention, then idea comes from the spirit, your higher self or your nothingness or your soul, you name it, anything. The idea comes from there, you turn it into an intention, and then you turn the intention, you let the intention go or leave or portray it in the world around you. You can give it whatever name. He likes to call it physical universe, which is the truth. Moment you let the intention go, automatically, because of your power, the source of our power, your power and the intention that comes from that power, you start getting ideas of implementation, the action plan. And all that comes, and the success also follows. However, and this is where the rider is, oh, the economy is weak, we cannot succeed in business. Oh, it's too cold, we cannot go out to work. Oh, we won't get any customers because it's a long weekend. So we start talking about, or we start propagating our weaknesses for ourselves or reasons for failure. So what we are doing is, we are propagating why we can fail. Moment you start propagating why you will fail, failure will come, because that's what you're pushing. I'll give you an example of what happened yesterday in my organization. And one of the salespersons, they say, it's slow. I said, why? No, it's windy. Not yesterday, it's very windy, people, no. I said, stop. I won't even let the person complete the sentence. I said, you said it today. In future, do not make statements or talk about reasons why you can fail. Talk about only why you will succeed. And because moment you articulate that, when you say it, pictures get created in your mind, and pictures have power. And those same pictures you use to push yourself in your life. And when I say yourself, it's not just you as yourself, the whole organization, your whole team. And thank you for saying that, he said it a couple of times, there is no way that you can fail, or there is no way that you cannot succeed. So the pictures, we talk about the reasons why we will not succeed. Oh no, but it's rational. No, it's not rational, it's criminal. I use the word very strongly. When you talk about reasons you'll fail, you are basically moving yourself towards failure. That's all. Does that answer your question?
Definitely. Very good point. And,
Let me add something.
sorry, please.
What he says is really spot on, really. And I can summarize it for the viewers.
Sure.
When you find a reason for a problem, how do you know if it is the real reason or an excuse? That's really the question, because you find a reason and you might be sick with excuse sclerosis, or you have...
That's your another term that you... What's the term I want to know? Excuse?
Excuse sclerosis.
Excuse sclerosis, okay.
You might be sick with excuse sclerosis, or you have the real reason.
Okay.
The real reason for a problem has two characteristics that you need to honestly check. Number one, can you do something about it? There's wind outside. Can you turn off the wind? No. So, excuse me, it's just an excuse. But if you say we didn't actually send any marketing messages in the last 60 years, that's probably something you can do about it by now, yes?
Yes.
Let's start sending marketing messages. So that's number one. You can do something about it. And the moment that you do something about it, did the condition improve? Did the situation improve? So someone came to me, it's a short story. There was a company in Israel, a new cell phone company in Israel. And they invested a lot of money into getting to the market, and they've tried to get into the market, and they put money like that, and they had this celebrity and that celebrity, and yes, they moved, but they didn't really went up. And they really wanted to break up and to really succeed. And I knew the guy that was heading the company, and he came to me and he says, Mayor, I need your help. I said, what's the problem? He says, blah, 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 this is. I said, okay, good, tell me what you've done. And he told me, we think this is what's the reason, and this is the reason, and this is, and he gave me all the reason. I said, thank you very much. I know what the reasons are not. Why? Because it didn't improve the situation.
Yeah.
It's violated number 2. Yes? So I know what is not. Now let me have a look and I'll tell you what's the reason. I went into the company, 20 minutes. I found the reason. Very simple. Very simple. There's a law that when a salesperson hears bad news, if he thinks that his product is bad, he will not want to sell the product. Because most people are really want to do the right thing. And what I saw is that they had a big calling room that the support people and the salespeople sitting in the same place. So the salespeople heard bad news all the time, argument, fighting with the customers, customer complaint, customer complaint, customer complaint. What I've done, I just build a wall, different entrance, different coffee machine, different everything, just separate them totally, and started to give them good news to the salespeople. It took less than 3 months. They doubled the market share. Double.
Very nice.
Why? Because it's something I can do something about, and the situation improved immediately. So when you have a problem, you need to be brave and to ask, can I do something about it? If not, you need to know for sure, 100%, regardless of your excuses, it's not the real reason. And number 2, did the situation improve? No? If I say, oh, my wife is difficult, do you have on-off difficult wife, easy wife? No. So it's not the reason. It's not the reason. Oh, my son hates me. Okay, can you change it? Is it under your control? No. So it's not the reason. It's not the reason. If it's not under your control, it's not the reason. It's violating number 1. And then, if it is under your control, does the situation improve immediately? And this is amazing because now instead of living in the wilderness of guessing, you all of a sudden have a scientific method of checking. Are you sick? Or are you healthy? Excuse sclerosis or effectiveness?
Very nice. Very nice. Since you're from Israel, so one of my favorite persons in history and in current modern day as well is Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
Time person of the century, I know. And the closest to him was, second to him was Mahatma Gandhi and other great personality. And there were so many others when Time did the analysis that who do you think should be the Time person of the century? So why I'm mentioning this Time person of the century, Albert Einstein, Mahatma Gandhi, and so many other leaders, I want to ask both of you, we'll start with you, Mayor, that what is it different in leaders? These are certain characteristics which leaders have, and that's what make them leader in their own respective field. They could be in science, they could be in politics, sports. We see, and just as earlier you were mentioning, you said I'm 62 and I can do a bench press of 100 pound, and somebody
Kilo.
would say 100 kilo. Oh, 100 kilo, okay.
Pound is nothing.
Pound is not-
100 pound is nothing.
100 pound is nothing, 100 kilo, okay. So I liked when you said that it could be impossible for others, but not for me. So you said that. I like that. And this is what I think when today 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds are winning gold in Olympics. So I think, imagine when did they start learning swimming, like Summer McIntosh, she's already won gold in Olympics, So many other youngsters who are 16, 17-year-olds, they're winning gold in Olympics. So when did they start? And I think they have the same theory as yours, that nothing is impossible. It could be impossible for others, but not for me.
Yeah.
So how do these leaders come up? How do you create that sort of mentality in sports, in music, in science? Yes.
Knowledge.
Knowledge. Okay.
Knowledge is the stepping stone to knowingness, to perfection.
Okay.
Knowledge is the stepping stone for perfection. You will see that man improved when he gained knowledge and didn't adapt himself to the universe, but he adapted the universe to himself. Men win when he make holes through walls, through mountains. Men lose when he bow to the mountain. How do you actually go through a mountain? Knowledge. Now, what does it mean, knowledge? What makes knowledge knowledge? If I ask most people what knowledge is, they will tell me it's information. They will tell me all kind of things. And this is probably the simplest concept in the universe, but because it's so simple, most people don't get the power of simplicity. Actually, I say that anything that is not simple contains a lie. If your husband come home and give you this complicated story about what happened, he's lying. Yes? Because the truth is simple. Actually, complication is a proof that the full truth is not known yet. It was very complicated for me to learn guitar, but now I'm playing guitar, it's like nothing. Why even I struggle? It was very complicated to every person to learn his language, but now I just speak. So the moment that you have total knowledge of something, you have total control over something. So it's really important to understand what is knowledge. It's quite unbelievable. So I will explain what is knowledge in few steps, because if I just give the answer, it will mean nothing. Okay? If this is a concept that I want to deliver, the only way to deliver a concept, and that concept can be music, it can be an idea that I have, anything, is by number of sentences. Music is composed of sentences, books are composed of sentences. When we talk, we compose of sentences. Assuming the sentences make sense, you'll understand the idea. If you did not understand the idea, it means that you did not understand one or more sentences, assuming that they are correct. Very simple, yes? So if I said to you, tomorrow I want to go, chika liga liga, you don't understand because two sentences were misunderstood here, yes?
Yeah.
Now, if I look at sentences, why sentences become misunderstood, if you look at the sentence with the magnifying glasses, you see that the sentence is composed only of words and symbols, nothing else. Which means that if you didn't understand a sentence, the only reason that could be why you did not understand the sentence is you did not understand more or one word or symbol. Which means that if I understood all the words in the sentence, I will understand the sentence and I will understand the idea. So my definition of the word knowledge is the sum of all the words and symbols that you have the correct definition for. For example, most of the people think that the word peruse means to look quickly over something. The actual definition in the dictionary is to look precisely with a lot of details. They don't know. If I ask most people, many people talk about what is energy. They cannot define it. They say energy is power and power is force. What is energy? They cannot define it. What is a wavelength? They say wavelength, but they don't know. Wavelength is just the distance between two peaks on a wave, distance in centimeters. And so they talk a lot about wavelengths and 5G is to blame and this is to blame. But they don't really understand what is 5G. 5 gigahertz, what does it mean, giga? What is hertz? What is hertz? Hertz is just times per second. So because people say a lot of words, but they don't actually have the definition of the word, like they don't have a definition of the word child. Parents don't know what a child is. And you look at me and say, what did you drink before you came here? But I promise you, parents don't have the definition of the word child. Child is not their toy. Child is a person with small body, always with good intention, and often with bad results. If you understand this definition, you will never evaluate your child based on his result, but only based on his intention. And everything will change. I'll give you an amazing story around that. I have a daughter. She was about 4 years old. She has curly hair, very curly hair. And my son was about 2 years old at that time, or 3 years old. And I came one day home, and he was crying, big crying, and my wife said, look, he's your son now, and go and handle him. So I went to talk to him, and he was crying, and I said, what's happened? And Hadar, my daughter was crying, and they both was crying. What's happened? And he says, Hadar is mean to me. I said, well, what do you mean? Why is she mean to you? He said, because I pulled her hair, and she's crying. I said, okay, I understand. What was your intention in pulling the hair? He looked at me like I'm stupid. Like, don't you know? I said, no, I'm sorry, I don't know. What was your intention? He looked at me like, really, are you really crazy? I said, yes, I don't know, really, explain to me. He says, you know, mommy always straightened her hair with this straightener, so I wanted to help her, so she have a straight hair. That was the good intention, not such a good result, but that's the good intention. I found the good intention. Now I could explain to him how to help with that intention. And never again he pulled her hair. Never again. Because I found the good intention. People, when they do the worst thing, they actually have good intention. If you find the good intention, you'll be able to help them. Actually, one of the definitions that I have for the word sin is a bad thing that you do in an effort to resolve a problem. You just don't know you don't have the knowledge, so you commit a sin. But if you had the knowledge, if someone will know for sure you have good intention, he will help you with finding the knowledge, so you will not have to commit the sin. You will keep your hands clean and your life will improve. So most people have a lot of misunderstood words, but they don't know that it's misunderstood. They don't know what's the definition of the word success. So they want to be successful, but they don't know that success is the sum of all validated improvement. If you have the correct definition of a word, it will solve all the problem related to that word. For example, last example, the word problem is force counter force. The word problem is force counter force. Push my hand. This is the problem. This is here in the middle is problem. I want him to give me money. He say no. I want him to give me money. Now, how do you solve a problem? If I would just take away my hand, there would be no problem. So while it takes two people to create a problem, it takes one person to change the problem, and now I can lead him. I don't push against him, I push with him. But now I can push him to wherever I want because I use his force. A problem is only force counter force. Yes, I can overwhelm him, but I lost and he lost because I made him wrong. And it's 1 lifetime, 2 lifetimes, 5 lifetimes. He will come and get me. You will never forget. You can make your wife wrong, and 20 years later she will come to you and say, do you remember that? Yes. So So it's really, people really want to be right. So if you make them wrong, it's just a matter of time before they will come back and hit you. But if you realize it's just a matter of, oh, he does not agree, okay, I stop pushing. There is no more resistance, so I can lead him. If you don't have that definition of the word problem, intention versus intention, you will not know how to solve a problem.
Very nice. Very
Amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing, amazing.
Very well explained. Very
Thank
well
you.
explained. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're very
Really
welcome.
enjoyed your examples, your anecdotes. Thank you so much. Sir, I'll come to you now, and same question for you as well. We're talking about leaders, and Mayor explained it so well. So, would you want to add something to that?
Yes, from a slightly different perspective. What he's already said is amazing and very comprehensive.
Thank you.
I'll talk about leadership in an organization. There can be two types of leadership in an organization. If you're the owner or the CEO or the boss, you can have a leadership where you want total control. Everything, everyone works only according to you. And the other is, which I find can work out very well in the long term, is that you enable people. You help people grow. You help your team members grow. When they grow, they want to perform better. They want to give not 100% to the organization, they want to give 1000%. Why? Because they have a stake. The leader is an enabler. He is not a disabler. He is not finding, the way you said, he is not finding fault in you. He is finding what you are good with. And I was just sharing it with him in the car. I was talking to one of the persons in the organization. I said, this is what you've done in sales in 24. What do you plan to do in 25? I said, give me a number. We'll go about the planning later. She said 2.5 times. Not 20%, not 30%, not 50%. The traditional leader would have said, now, hey, come on, let's be practical. You can do it, not in this market, not but. No. I said, good. I'm happy. What do you need from me? So now she's planning, and she's already coming up in 1 week's time with so many ideas. Will she reach the 250% increase? Yes. So what am I? I'm a leader who enables. I can be a leader who says, shut up, you don't know, you're too new, you're too young, and yada. No, then I'm not a leader. And a leader is not only, I'm talking about an organization, not a political leader. Let's not talk about them. A leader in an organization enables people to grow so that the organization grows, and if sometimes the opportunity for the person is not there in the organization, they go out and find another, form an organization. I'll give you an example. This happened about 25 years back, just before I was 25, 27 years back. There was this guy who was my star salesman, student of BITS Pilani.
Okay.
BITS Pilani is an engineering institute, very renowned engineering institute. He was software, hardware, everything. And then he was growing. When he joined me, he was getting an X amount, and in 5 years' time, he was an X into 8. X into 8. So I said, it's time for you to try, go to USA. He got upset. He says, what are you saying? I said, no, find how you can go to USA, because I wouldn't be able to do justice to your talent. I've taken you this far. I mean, you've come this far. I've only enabled you, but you must leave so that you can blossom fully. Now, did I lose? Did the organization suffer a little in the short term? Yes, but doesn't matter. So, as a leader, as a corporation leader, I have to be an enabler.
Enabler.
Enable the persons within the organization or outside the organization. And this has actually happened. I'll give you another example. I was leaving, I was coming here, moving to Canada, and my star salesman, just before leaving, I said, here is a brand new car for you. A brand new, not a used car. I said, here's a brand new car for you. He says, I said, the car would be owned by the corporation because you cannot buy it, but it's for you. For me, 100% for your use, and all the gas and maintenance is paid by the company. Even for my personal use, I said, of course. You go out for picnics, you go out on Saturdays, Sundays, the car stays with you, you use it. That man, in my absence, he gave the company so much, and the person I had left in charge to run the company, he didn't know, he didn't even want it. But I said, look, I'm going to Canada, I can either shut off the company or I can enable the people who are working here. I've given you 2 examples. And they worked very well. Thank you.
Thank you. Very nicely explained. Yeah. And how important, since you talk, I think you've already spoken a bit in bits and pieces about relationship as well. But I want you to explain for the benefit of our audience, how important is good relationship, not only with your family members, but also people around your business or whatever career we are. How important is relationship in our success?
So anything you have is due to communication. You don't have the phone, you have a communication with the phone.
Right.
If I cannot find my phone, I lost the communication, I don't have the communication with the phone, yes? Yeah. The communication will be there as good as it's close to me. When you have a very, very, very good relationship, you are really stuck together. Now, what getting things to get stuck, to understand it, there is a concept that's called gauge blocks. Gauge blocks are a piece of metal that are really, 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 really clean, that when you put them together, they stuck, and you cannot break them. It's very difficult to break. And why do I explain it? Because relationship is actually a word that describes the pureness of the connection. When the connection is pure, when there is no dirt, you're connected. When the connections start to have dirt in the middle, you disconnect. How does it work in reality? It goes like that. Let's say talk about a girlfriend or a wife, okay? So I go around and I see this lady. Because I see her, we're sharing the same space and there's some communication and I have some reality about her. And she makes sense to me, I can see her. Now I start to communicate with her, and immediately as I start to communicate with her, I find more things in common with her, so I get closer to her. And I talk to her more, and I find more things that are common to her, and I get closer. When I met my wife, she told me about this music that she loves, so I made her a tape. At that time there was tape. I made her a tape of this artist, and I gave her the tape, and she told me that she liked this kind of food, and I made her that kind of food, and she gave me something that I really wanted to read, a book, and she bought me that book, and we got really, really, really connected, inseparable. Never mind where we've been. There was no cell phone, but we were in communication. It was actually one time I was actually calling her from payphones, and she came on the bus, and her apartment was in a totally different place of the city, but she doesn't know why. She came to that area and she went off the bus in that point, and then I saw her. She didn't answer the phone, but she came to me. It was such a strong connection that it's really unbelievable. And then, let's say I do something that I cannot tell her about. I hide. Communication break. All of a sudden, we don't have much in common, and the connection breaks. There is dirt. And then, what happened? I did another thing that I cannot tell her. And there's less things in common and less of connection. And what happened is we started together, we are both right, and now I feel that I'm wrong. Now I cannot be wrong. No one can be wrong. So what do? I start to find what's wrong with her. The hair that at the beginning I was willing to lose a hand if she let me touch it, and I actually wanted the blonde. The way that she talked, at the beginning I thought it's the nicest thing in the universe. She told me, "You're silly," and I said to my friend, "Did you hear her nicely?" She said, "I'm silly." I was like melting because she called me I'm silly. And now she said, "I'm silly. How can you talk to me like that?" And I find wrong thing with her, so now she's wrong and I'm right. But if I continue to make bad things, I have to be even more bad towards her, more. And if I cannot anymore find wrong things with her, I will leave. So relationship is very important, and it's not only about your wife. If you don't have money, you committed sin against money. And you don't really know exactly how. It might be you stole from your father, it might be you cheated here. You will not have money more than the amount of sins that you created. The connection that you have with money has to do with how pure is the relationship between you and money. The relationship with your wife is only got to do with how clean are your hands. And you will see that when someone finds fault with you, I know he did something against you. So I said that when someone say you are to blame, what he says, God will help me to explain how you are to blame at what I've done, 3 fingers towards me. Any person that blame, never mind how justified, he blame because he did something bad. And it's almost unbelievable. What do you think? Well, no, but he did that, I can prove. I know. You can do that, but that's your problem. But it will not affect me. There's billions of people that are doing wrong things that don't affect me if I don't decide that they affect me. I will decide they affect me only if I have to make you wrong. Otherwise, I love my son, and he can come and he can tell me that he's done the worst thing in the universe. I will not be upset with him. I would just, okay, fine, let's handle it. Because I love him. Because my hands are clean with him. But if my wife said that, oh, that's a different story. Maybe my hands are not as clean. You understand the difference? It's a big difference. So the only reason someone don't like you is because he did something against you.
Oh, very nicely explained. You just mentioned another point, when I asked you about relationship, and beautifully explained it, but you also touched about our relationship with money. Mm-hmm. So if I may ask you, what is our relationship with money? Actually, the question we all want to answer ourselves, how much money do we need?
More all the time.
Okay.
More all the time. Why? Because everything expands, everything becomes more expensive. And money helps you to help. Money helps you to help. So it helps you to get your purpose. Now the thing that people don't understand is what is money. I told you about you have to understand the words.
Words, yeah.
Yes? If I ask people what is money, they usually say this thing that rich people have, or this thing that Jewish people have. Jewish and Indian.
And Indian, he said.
Jewish and Indian.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yes, please.
But actually, you'll see that money is the result of your ideas. You have exactly as much as you believe that you deserve. What does it mean, deserve? How clean is the relationship you have with money? You will not have your wife if you don't deserve her. What does it mean? If you feel that you committed a lot of sins against your wife, you will find a way that you will not be with her. You will blame her, you will have the book of sins that she committed, but actually you talk about yourself. The same thing with money. You will not have your wife if you committed sin against your wife. You will not have money if you committed sin against money. How do you commit a sin against money? Let's say I work for you and I don't like my job. I committed sin against money because I'm getting paid and I don't actually deliver everything. Just the fact that I'm not in love with this place is a sin. Because what is another definition of a sin? What you do that you wouldn't want someone else to do to you. If it was my business and you worked for me, I will want you to put your heart, soul, and everything in between into the business. That will be the right thing. And of course, I will pay you. But most people don't like what they do. And that's a sin against money. Most people don't deliver more than they promise. That's a sin against money. If I tell you I'll bring you a delivery of a steak and I give you the delivery of the steak, and it's fine, but I didn't give you something extra. Yeah. It's a sin against money. Because the same is less. In this universe, nothing stays the same. If it's not expanding, it's going down. If I didn't become more your friend, I became more your enemy. If I don't love you more, I hate you more. There is nothing zero. This universe do not admit of zero. Everything moves. Then the atom moves and everything moves and the universe expands. Everything moves. And things can either expand or they can contract. Nothing stays the same. If you get paid the salary, $10,000 this month, $10,000 the next month, $10,000, you think you look at stability. No, you look at the disaster. Because everything costs more. And the children grows. And you get older, everything become more expensive. You need to make more. And if you think you look at stability, one day you will discover, oh, whoa, I'm bankrupt. So money is actually the result of your ideas and how much you're confident that you can actually turn your ideas into actualities. So you can say that money is the result of ideas that has been turned into actualities.
Oh, amazing. So before I let you go, I've tried to touch so many different topics, but I think specifically for today's youth, I want a message before I let you go from both of you. We'll start with you, sir, this time. So why don't you start first? A message for youth.
A message for youth: do, and do more when you're tired. Don't say, I'm tired, it's the weekend, I cannot do, I'm not in the mood, I don't feel. No. If you've taken on a responsibility, come what may, you have to complete it, you have to do it. And unfortunately, perhaps unfortunately, the parents of today are pampering and spoiling the kids, not allowing them or pushing them into taking up their responsibility. They have to take the responsibility and they have to do and do more. No excuses, no reasons. If you're not doing more, his last sentence, then you're doing less. And that's my message for the youth today. No excuses. You have to do more.
To do more. Very nice.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Very well said. Sir, you're
okay. So more than one message.
Sure.
Number one, most people operate based on their emotion. This is what I feel. This is what I want. This is what I desire. The truth is, all those things are things that belong to you. My emotion, my feeling, my desire. It's not you. The correct way to operate is to define what you want to have. What you want to have, something very tangible. A car, a house, a relationship, something really measurable, tangible. Then based on that, formalize what you need to do. And then make yourself fall in love with what you need to do. Because if I'll do what I want to, what I feel like, I'm probably going to sit in bed and just watch Netflix all day long. Yes? Or just eat anything that comes in. Or not go to the gym. Or not help. because this is my feeling. They always mislead you. Your feelings are your real enemy. I know that most people worship their feeling. Your feeling is your enemy. It's my feeling. It's my slave. It's not me. I'm the boss. The boss is home. I define what I want to have. Then I need to do I decide what I need to do. And so I fall in love with what I need to do. If I need to suffer with pain beyond this lifetime, while doing this course of 2 years, I enjoyed every second of pain. Because I knew that if I will do it, I will complete that course. And I really wanted to have that. You decide what you want to have. You figure out from what you want to have what needs to be done, and you must fall in love more than you've been in love at the age of 16. Like the highest love is, this is what I need to do. I fall in love with that. That's number one. Number two, which is really important, there's something that's called a cycle of action. Cycle of action is start, change, and stop. A person born, grows, and die. I'm against it, but that's how it works. Start, change, stop, okay? And actually you will see that the word control means the ability to start, change, and stop. If I can start a car, change a car, and stop the car, I'm in control of the car. If I can start a thought, change a thought, and stop a thought, I'm in control of my thought. Yeah. If I can start my wife, change my wife, and stop my wife, I'm a magician. So since control equal to income, yeah, if you want to have an income in anything, complete the cycle of action. You touch it, you bring it to completion. Don't do half. And this is so important because there's a lot of people that suffering from mental health. And I can summarize most, or if not all, of mental health in the following. You are born and you have a number of processes in your head, like a computer, many processes. Now when you open in a computer many program, what happens? The computer becomes slower, and if you open more, the computer will crash. For us human, every time I start a cycle of action and didn't close it, a process or more gets stolen, and another one, and another one, and another one, and all of a sudden you start to feel pressure because you cannot process what's going on. You don't have processes. So a lot of things happen and you have stress, and you think, oh, fine, I'll take drugs to handle it. No, drugs will not help. What will help is start closing cycles of actions. So what you do, and this is probably the most important advice, make a list of your open cycles. Take the first item, and whatever it takes, do just this item. And then take the second item, don't do it. Don't do it. Why? Because when you decide not to do it, I'm saying I'm cause. I decide what to do. I'm not doing it mechanically. I'm not a robot doing all the cycles. No. I decide I'm doing this thing, this is I'm not doing. And you have to be totally fine with that. And then the next cycle and decide, am I going to do it or not? If yes, do it. And once you start to close your cycles of actions, you'll see everyone and everything around will be your playing ground. You'll be able to help.
Beautiful. Very well said.
Thank you.
Very well said.
Thank you.
Very well said.
Thank you.
Yeah. Amazing. So we're almost out of time, but up until this time, I asked questions. But is there anything else, Mayor, you want to touch before I let you go?
Yeah, many people talking about spirituality.
Yes.
And they do energy work
yeah.
In order to deal with spirituality. And I want to handle this fake reality.
Okay. Fake reality.
Yeah. It is a fake reality, yes.
Okay.
The spirit is not energy because only physical thing has energy in them. Mm-hmm. So the moment that someone doing energy work and he said that it's spirituality, he's talking nonsense. Mm-hmm. Yes? Why? Because the spirit is the creator of energy. The spirit is the nothingness that can bring about somethingness. And how do I explain it? Is if this is the beginning, the word beginning was not here before. The beginning of iPhone was in whenever. It means before that there was no iPhone. Yes? Our relationship started 2-3 weeks ago. So before that we didn't have a relationship, yes?
Yes.
So beginning was not here before. Now the physical universe is things that happen. They have a starting point. So what start this thing that called the physical universe is not physical. What start energy cannot be energy. You can convert energy. There is the conversion of energy. There is the conservation of energy, but not the creation of energy. Energy get created by the spirit and change by the physical universe. So if you want to succeed, you need to realize that you are not a piece of energy. You are not your body. You don't have a spirit. You are the spirit. You have a body, you have a car, you have a mind, you have all kind of things. But you are the spirit. The spirit is the thing that can bring anything out of nothing. And once you realize that this is who you are, and this is how powerful you are, the sky is not the limit for you.
What did you just say? The sky is not the limit for you.
Yeah.
Wow. Very well said. Very, very well said. Sir, it's an honor, privilege
Same here. Thank
to
you.
listen to you.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
hopefully we'll carry on.
Thank everyone also. Thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you so much, Mayor. And we'd like to once again, the website or any contact details are at the bottom of your screen. In case you want to get in touch with Mayor Ezra, please feel free to do that. And Kamalji, I want to thank you for bringing such an amazing personality, introducing us. Your final thoughts, sir.
It's all good. Anytime you feel upset or angry or disappointed with somebody, stop it. Because it's your feeling. Whatever happens, when I recently put something on my Instagram, it's all good. Anything different is just admiration which has to be put together. Which means as long as I continue admiring you, I don't have to admire each and every action of yours. No. But I admire you and the spirit in you. As long as I admire you, your actions do not matter. So if I want to condemn a person that you're a cheat, no, the person is not a cheat. Some of his actions may not have been to your liking. So let's distinguish between the actions and the spirit, the actions and the purpose. And moment we distinguish that, we are not only going full throttle, but deep within ourselves, we are at peace. We are smiling, we are happy, and we can spread that all around us. Not any mumbo jumbo religion. No. It's a peace, or when you're sitting with such a person, you feel good. He is exuding goodness, and you recognize that, and then you yourself start exuding goodness. So it's the spirit, not the action. Or as Mayor would often say, it's the intention, not the result. It's the cause, not the effect. It's the reason, not the result. It's the consequences, not of the action, but recognizing you as the spirit in its entirety.
Thank you. Amazing thoughts that you've shared today, and I'll also sum up. There is a lot that you discussed today, and I hope our viewers did benefit a lot. And I could pick up so many good things today, but just in the interest of time, two things I want to mention. first from where you started. I think it was a very good point. We do not need to unnecessarily doubt anybody's integrity, because there are a lot of great people on this planet who would want to do something good, spread goodness, and you use the word help. We can use the word help, spread love, kindness, compassion. So let's not doubt anybody's integrity. And at the same time, when you just mentioned what is in it for me, we should also do the same. So whatever good we can do, and let's not focus on, I was very ambitious at one time and I was focusing on the results most of the time. But when I took my eye off the results, the desires went away, and there were so many good things that transpired. But once again, thank you, Mayor. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you, Kamalji. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hope you enjoyed today's discussion. That's all the time that we have. Stay tuned with Ymedia. Keep watching Channel Y. Thank you.
Hi, this is Priyanka Chopra and you're watching Channel Y.